Hello, everyone. Happy quarantine. Hope you're all settling in there nicely with whatever you're doing and not getting too bored. If you're at day 1 or 2, that's probably not happening yet. But I think further in, you're having to find things to amuse you with. One thing is being on our phones a lot, right? I mean, we're all guilty of this already, and now with all this downtime, we're just scrolling away. What video's coming next? Okay, news, yeah. Show me this stuff. And a lot of shows have been canceled. So like Trevor Noah and The Daily Show has been canceled. There's been many concerts have been canceled. And what's interesting to see is that these artists or entertainers are communicating to their audience the same way general YouTubers would. So the production is not as there or at the same level as a regular YouTuber would be, or any other online presence. And there's no retakes, there's no cuts. It's really becoming raw, and we're actually seeing the true human element in every individual, which is kind of beautiful. So it's kind of leveling the playing field with celebrities and everyone we perceive as being up there. And what this virus is doing is bringing that gap and just like clearing it out and like bringing celebrities down here. I mean, they're suffering from the virus, some of them, Idris Elba and some others. And the main thing I'm communicating is that this illusion that they're higher than us or that we're looking up to them, like the wow factor is kind of being removed. They're still beautiful and loving individual human beings, but without all the production value, you're seeing more of the rawness, which is incredibly beautiful. And it's kind of leveling the human playing field in some way, and in essence making us feel, I don't know if you're getting this, but like more connected. I mean, Chris Martin from Coldplay was performing this live Instagram or Facebook event where he was going through several of his songs, and even as I'm saying that, my video got interrupted by a call on this phone. So just keeping it real, keeping it live. So there's probably like a gap there between the two videos. Okay, I just confirmed. All my videos have recorded. So that's a perfect example of the rawness that is being presented online now with the cut of production value and everyone working from home. And again, that's in many ways it's a beautiful thing because we're seeing a leveling of the playing and human field into a more narrow spectrum. We're more equal. We're all one. And that's the topic I want to talk about today. The oneness that this disease and pandemic is bringing upon us. It's something that artists have talked about, philosophers and poets and gurus, and this one, we're all one. But once it's mentioned so many times, we're like, yeah, I heard that, okay, enough, yes, okay, kumbaya. But like, really, what does it mean? It's also a practice. It's a practice in recognizing your fellow human being, regardless of whether you agree with their values or not. And it doesn't only stop at human beings. It extends to animals. It extends to the environment. It extends to the earth that we live in. And everything that is living and animate, and maybe not even animate. The way we treat each other, the way we treat nations, the way we treat family members and non-family members. We are encouraged to be cliquey, to only be comfortable with friends and family and acquaintances that we know. At least that's how it is practiced in many cultures. Some cultures are a lot more open with meeting individuals without that vouch of confidence or social approval through a friend. And that's a progressive way of going about it. It's like one step higher on the curve. Because you're putting away that fear of like, I don't trust this person. I don't know who they are. What family do they come from? Who are they? What religion are they? Da-da-da, how much money do they make? So all these checklists that our mind thinks is a good idea, in essence, blocks us off from truly connecting and feeling that human being. So when we go into judgment, oh, that person's coughing. Oh, that person is probably out of my status, you know. They probably don't make as much as I do or can afford the same restaurants. Or, oh my gosh, they make so much better than I do, and like there's so much wealth here and more educated. Oh my God, look at the vocabulary they're using. I hate him. It's like, he makes me feel insecure. Makes me feel bad about myself. And people don't like being around people that are better than them. That's also another thing. People don't like being around people that are worse than them or better than them. People like, just right there. Don't make me feel bad about myself. But also don't make me work hard to be a better person. And that's like, it's a mental trap that we can all fall into. That limits growth and it limits human engagement and interaction. And it's a sad thing. It's a sad thing. And this disease is an opportunity to also teach us to humble ourselves in a very major way. Because we are, in essence, all one. We're all divine light creatures incarnating in this flesh suit. And I don't like that line because as I said it, I was like, oh, I've heard that before. I'm just regurgitating. Yeah. So I want to stop myself there. Another way I'd like to say that is when you look at a person, and we all are programmed with preferences, and we should be like this person, or we should have these preferences towards a person. We hold these in our subconscious, and our parents taught it, our society taught it to us, and unless we've gone through the process of recognizing them and like unweeding them from our garden one by one as we recognize them, and knowing that they are not true, that they limit our human experience, they put us in a cage, a safety cage, which is not real because there is no danger out there. The real danger is judgment and what escalates from judgment and pride. And that's a whole nother topic. But when you see a person that you cannot relate to, like you are an engineer, this person is an underwater scuba diver, this person likes wines and he, doesn't drink, or different people like that you wouldn't put them at the same table at your dinner party. They probably wouldn't get along, or maybe they would get along if they followed these practices. And that's one thing. When you look at a person, and especially if they anger you, especially if they're holding a viewpoint that opposes your viewpoint, and you look at them and you see in their eyes that they're an aspect of God, the prime creator, divinity, expressing itself in a unique way. It doesn't have to agree with you. It doesn't have to be good. It doesn't have to be only bad. Just because it's bad, a person's doing a bad thing, doesn't mean you have to judge them. That is their aspect. That's what their expression is. If God is a creator, as let's say any creation, it doesn't stop at one thing. It wants to experience multiple things. So the Beatles didn't release one album, and they released several, and they didn't sound like each other. There's a general theme, but there's like different things. If you cook a dish, you don't want to cook the same dish every day. So creation doesn't want to express itself the same way all the time. is going to express itself as a poet, as an artist, as an asshole, as a greedy banker, as a philanthropist, as a person that's out there to like do good, as a Mother Teresa, as a Bono, as a you. And the more we embrace these elements of ourselves and accept them with ourselves, we begin to accept them in other people. Like, oh, they're too, I don't like the way they talk, or this or that. No, everyone has their own expression, and we need to celebrate each other's expression. And during this time, when everyone is being hit by this pandemic, everyone is staying home, everyone is sitting here going through these same things. I have no idea why my Siri just activated there and asked me to say one moment. Technical difficulties. So, it's a practice in being one, in recognizing the divinity, recognizing the God in every one of us, that you are a part of creation, that you are a life force, the same life force that runs through you, that runs through your pet, that runs through a tree, that runs through planets. And this is an opportunity to humble ourselves and realize that we're all in this together. No matter your creed, your religion, your bank account size, which are being wiped off the map anyway, we're all one. And this is an excellent opportunity to sit with that and sit and see, where are you judging another person? In politics, in religion, in fashion, in art. The list can go on. There's always a way to judge a person, and we do it automatically. So this is automatic to recognize when we're judging. And instead of saying, oh, instead of judging, say, I recognize that difference. Ask yourself, why does it bother you? And it goes back to the previous video I put out there about detaching from external sources of happiness. If you're basing your own happiness on someone else outside of you agreeing with you or being the way you see fit, you're in a trap. You need to remove that condition from yourself. To remove that thought that a person needs to view politics or the world the same way you do. You need to detach that. And by detaching that, you will be free of judgment. You will be free of weighing yourself down when you're bound to encounter the diversity of expression on this beautiful earth. So if you want to learn more about detaching, again, when you see someone and you feel like that judgment, feel that out in your body. Why am I judging this person? Why? Because they make more money than me, or they make less money, or this, or they're pretty, or they're not, or or religion, or whatever it is. Go back and say, why does that affect me? Why do I care if someone has a different religion than me? Why do I care? And you keep on asking yourself, why? And you'll get deeper to the answers, and you ask yourself, is that true? Why do I think that? Why do I think that? Keep on asking the why, and go back to my detachment video, and detachment video, and it's a longer title than that I remember right now. I'll put it in the description. And use that practice to detach the judgment or the source of judgment that you're holding. Because if we want to get out through this, we're going to have to through this pandemic and whatever the world may be throwing at us during these times, we're going to have to put our judgments aside. And not just aside, but go deep inside and ask why we're judging. Where does it come from? And if that belief is beneficial to us at this time. And thank you. Stay safe. Be indoors as much as possible. And start working on a joy list. What's lifting your spirits other than being online? So when you get bored, you can get into it. For me, dancing to some good crazy music is a good one. but sometimes I get into like a little low energy rut, as we all do. So having enjoyed this is a good one. Maybe I'll talk about that next time. So much love to you all. Enjoy yourselves, and may peace be with you. Bezos. Cheers.